Hey everyone, my name is Gamer Corey and welcome back to another Cities Skylines episode. Now in today's episode, I do want to start trying to fix some traffic, and that's what we're going to be working on today. So if you guys would like to be able to submit your own maps for me to make a disaster on or potentially maybe fix, then don't forget to check down the link in the description. And that way you guys can go ahead and submit your maps and requests over to me, as I would like to start doing this a little bit more on the channel. It's a couple things. One, it will actually help me learn about the cities that I want to be able to create and the traffic as well. And honestly, I can make a little bit of a fool of myself. Now, this city is actually really interesting. I was watching it and I let it play for about 20 minutes or so, and the traffic gets as bad as like 12%. But then it instantly jumps up to like 30%, which is really interesting. And the only thing that I can kind of think of is because of the subway that's kind of going on. I'm not a big fan of like the roundabout, they're not really roundabouts, but basically the U-turns on highways, because they will use those, and like having avenues straight off of only one intersection of the highway. That might have to all be changed. Wait a second, is this two schools here? This might be two schools. Yes, it is. Okay, well, that's interesting. Wait, is there a third? There's 3 high schools right here? Police headquarters, hospital. Okay, interesting. And then our hospital? Wow, there's... No wonder they're losing a lot of money. So, the ones that I'm going to focus on today is I'm going to be using Network Extensions 2 and then Traffic Manager are the ones that I'm going to mostly be using, and then I am going to be probably using the roundabout mod as well. So those are the main ones that I will be using throughout this episode. I do have access to a couple other like interchanges that I've downloaded and things like that, so I'm not going to try to put those in just because I want people to be able to be as authentic, and then that way they don't have any issues going into it. However, I will be fixing some of the roads using network extensions, so if you are playing on vanilla, I do apologize. There's just a lot of extra roads that are available to us using network extensions too. So the first intersection that I really want to work with is this one right here. Now, this is a cluster if I've ever seen one. So let's go ahead and kind of just take a look at what we can do. And the first thing that we actually are going to do is I'm going to put a nice big old roundabout here. That is very, very loud in my ears. Holy moly. Let's turn my headset down a little bit. That is craziness. I got some energy here, so hopefully you guys will support me with my caffeine addiction. And by smacking that like button a little bit, that would be amazingly awesome if you guys will go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and put a 4-lane road right here. There we go. That is beautiful. Now let's see if we can actually get this to connect the way that we want it to. All right, Net Picker, we need to find this road, please. Let's find it. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Oh, and it can't. All right, let's see if we can get a little bit of curvy action going on here. All right, so maybe it looks like we need to make this one just a little bit bigger. So let's actually make this roundabout like that. Then let's go ahead and grab this guy again, and there we go. That works absolutely beautiful. Now, we are going to give priority to the roundabout, so let's go ahead and close that. Let's open up our traffic manager. Let's grab the giveaway, stop, and yield signs. Or not giveaway, but yield and priority. So that's automatically going to set the priority to the roundabout. Now, the other thing that we actually need to do is if we actually go and click on the lane change arrows, I only want the outer one to basically turn to the right. All the other ones I want to go straight. Why is this one not letting me choose it? Thank you. We don't want that one turning. We don't want that one turning. We don't want that one turning. And so forth and so on and etc. Let's see. Has this one done already? No. I can't tell if that one's done. There's too many cars. That one's not done yet. All right. There we go. So I'm going to kind of let that do its own thing for just a little bit and kind of see what happens there. That was a lot of intersections. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 intersections. That's craziness going on. Now, the only other thing that I do see is there's looks like a bus stop right there. Any other bus stops that I have to worry about in this area? Not seeing any. Oh, there's one right here. That's a little close. Now the other thing that we actually probably want to do is de-zone the area just like right around the roundabout. So I'm actually going to get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of all of this. The other thing is like these intersections are absolutely terrible. I don't really like this interchange here. It goes from one interchange into another interchange. So basically, where they're coming from. They're coming from the city. They're going through the Cloverleaf. They're going here, and then they're trying to get off here. Is there any? There's nothing else that's accessible to this part of the city. So I think what we should do is we should extend this. That will make it available for future expansion. And then what we can do is maybe, I think right here, just make a bridge, and then we can put a roundabout here and a roundabout over there on both sides of the bridge. Yeah, let's go ahead and work on that right now. All right, so I put this interchange in here, and I designed it myself, so hopefully it actually looks okay. It's a little weird with the terraforming that actually happened. We could kind of smooth this out a little bit so it actually looks a lot more decent. And we might do that a little bit later, but I don't think I'm actually going to work on that right now. But this is another way to get from this city side of the city into this part of the city, and people actually are already using it, which is amazing. That's what we want to exactly have happen. Now we could reduce these down to 2-lane roads with using lane management, and then we can actually do the change tools and everything else that we want to do. Let's see what else. This one we actually have to work on. I'm gonna redesign this one, so I'm gonna finish this one up here, just to kind of make this look a little bit better. This whole intersection, and then we'll be back. Now, ultimately, we just need to add a couple more ways to get into this city. We're dealing with that traffic there with the roundabout. However, we have to kind of deal with traffic here because a lot of people want to be able to get onto this highway. And then there's some here. So I think if we actually start looking at some options here, we could maybe move this hospital down a little bit. And then put an intersection here and then come on and meet down at this here. That would give us another opportunity to get into this city. Because we don't want just, I mean, this only really, it has technically 3 ways to get into the city. But this one, I guess we could leave that one. This just needs maybe a roundabout here. Well, I guess it doesn't need a roundabout. We could actually delete this road here, though, and maybe make it curve a little bit more. But we ultimately need to make ways to get more than just this highway, because everybody's now going to come way down here because that's the only exit that they have is way down here to get into this side of the city. So there's this section right here, but there's no way to actually get up there. So if we start working on moving this hospital, we're just going to move it to, down there. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to grab our road tools here. And we're actually just going to make a straight avenue. Pretty much coming right off of this here. If I can grab the right tool, there we go. And we're going to come all the way down and meet up with this one. Perfect. Now that's going to give people another way to get into the city. Now what we need to do is maybe start working on doing some kind of interchange here. Maybe delete all this. I'm trying to see what we could actually work with here. Yeah, we could probably do that. This off-ramp really isn't doing anything, to be honest, because all it is coming over to here. So if we get rid of this one, kind of come back to here, we can actually make our own system basically onto this. What is this? Well, it's an avenue. Thought maybe it was an industrial road, and we can actually make that work, I think, pretty good for ourselves. All right, so I just kind of made my own little junction right here. I think it turned out okay. Basically, we added this avenue down, and people are using it already, and they are trying to get out onto this road. Looks like they're trying to get over here. I should actually grab my lane connectors, and I'm actually going to do this one to this one, and this one to this one. They're a little confused on that one. These two seem to be okay, but I'm just gonna go ahead and specify which lanes I want them to go. I don't think we need to put a roundabout here just because this should be pretty flowing, especially if they change and choose their lanes, or they're gonna come off and get into the right appropriate lanes here, and then they're gonna go off into this highway all the way over here, which traffic obviously is building up because I haven't paused this at all because I wanted to see where all the issues actually were at. So now we only really have one true way into the city. Now we have to work on this connection right here. So as you can see here, I actually created this new bridge, which is going to allow people to come into the city a lot better. So we created this interchange. We're going to creating this one. We actually modified this one, and I wanted them to be a little bit of a distance away from each other, so they're not like right on top of each other. So if they are coming from this portion of the city and they're coming over this bridge, and then they're coming up here, at least the other ones aren't always getting in their way. And I actually might make this a little bit wider right here, but I have to do some lane management stuff, and kind of, you know, whether it's a 2-lane or a 3-lane, 4-lane, but we're going to get into that in just a little bit. I just needed to get ourselves some more access points into the city, and I feel like there needs to be another one like almost right here somewhere, which if we extend this avenue all the way across, or this avenue all the way across, that would actually give us our main one. And then if we put like another main one over here off of this section, that would actually be really good. So we'd have this interchange, we'd have this interchange. We just need more ways in and out of this city ultimately. So now we got the 3-lane right there. So now the other thing that we actually have to do is give this priority. So this roundabout needs priority, this roundabout needs priority, and then we actually have to do the lane selections here. If we can actually get to it, that is. There we go. Oh, we only want this one to go straight. All right, so that one's only going straight. That one is only going straight now. That one's only going straight because it can't go that way. That's perfect. Now let's actually go ahead and check these ones. Down here, that's straight, that's straight. This one's trying to turn here, which ultimately we don't need. I'll keep that there for now, but we don't want them to turn there. So, all right, so that's actually looking pretty good. I've just unpaused it, and I got to do a couple things here real quick. Number one, we have to do some lane management stuff here. So we're actually going to go ahead and downgrade this road to a 2-lane through here. And then we're going to do this same thing through here. And we can't choose that one? Really? Interesting. Well, I guess we're just going to roll with it. I guess there's not much we can really do about that one for now. Let's go back here and let's do these ones as well. And then... that's so weird. I don't know. Okay. It must just be too close, I guess. What other ones we got to work on? We have to do this one. So basically what we're doing is one's going off, so down to 2-lane, one's coming on up to 3-lane. One going off, down to 2-lane, one comes on, back up to 3-lane. So we're just going to do that in all the directions here. We already did those. This one needs to be done. These two need to be done. And these two need to be done. Beautiful. There. Now we actually have some more like turning lanes. However, I don't want them to do what they just did there. Well, the only thing I don't like about cloverleafs is this. You know, people are coming on, and then these people are trying to get off to go here, so that just causes a lot of issues in the long run. Now that we've actually extended this road, I'm actually thinking about just attaching it right to this intersection here. That way these people from this city can actually just come across here and go right into the city. That way they don't have to go through this roundabout right here. They don't have to go through this interchange. They don't have to go through this interchange to get to the city. They can just kind of come right up here, and then they can either choose to get onto the highway here and go this way, or they can do a few other things as well, kind of depending on which way they want. But we just need to kind of get the traffic flowing the best that we possibly can. We don't want them to just have one way in and one way out. That's just going to be no good in the long run. All right, there we go. We actually added our new bridge basically from one side to the other. Now they don't even have to go through any of the highways. They can just take this avenue all the way in to now into the main city. Now basically all I'm doing is going around the city and just matching up some of the nodes here. So I want what lanes connected to what lanes so that people aren't necessarily just not choosing what they're supposed to be choosing. Oh, this actually looks pretty good. This is flowing. It's all starting to flow pretty decent. We got this one over here that we need to work on, it looks like. Ooh, there we go. That's looking good. Now people should start to choose that a little bit better. We should probably do that. This is the weird one that we couldn't fix earlier, so that's interesting. So what we're going to do is we're going to go, this one has to choose this one, and this one has to choose this one, so people actually aren't using it. And then let's choose this one, and people are going to use this one, and then this one. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about that, which is kind of weird, but we got to do this one here. Oh, we have to do our lane management stuff right here. We haven't done that on this road yet, so let's go ahead and do that all through here. And then all through there. Beautiful. That is actually looking really good. All right, let's grab our lane tool again. And it looks like traffic is actually starting to free up a little bit, which is definitely good. Let's zoom in a little bit more for that one. There we go. That is all looking good. All right, we are actually starting to see a nice flow of traffic. Just a lot of people wanting to get into this portion of the city. Like I said, we probably need to make them another interchange. This is working really good. This isn't terrible, but I definitely could put a roundabout there at some point. I'm guessing there's just a ton of... Whoa, what do we got here? Okay, this is actually okay. Is there stoplights, though? There is stoplights. Let's get rid of those, and let's get rid of those. And let's actually make... There we go. Let's make that main road the priority. There we go. That should start to free up some of that traffic a little bit more, so that more people can get off this bridge. Now, we do have a little bit of space down here that we can work with, because I got rid of all of the intersections that were connecting right to the highway, but that is causing actually some problems, because now the only way into this portion of the city is, well, right here. See, they can get across here. That's really the only way that they can get into this city. Otherwise, they have to come down off this highway and come here. I think we need to move some of this stuff here and look at putting a bridge over this. Maybe putting a roundabout here, putting a roundabout here. And then that way there's more options for people to get off this road. And we'll have to move these two high schools. But that would give us another way to get from this side of the city over to this side of the city. All right, so now we added a couple more roundabouts. I got rid of this whole road and intersection that was here. We could definitely add a small little section here, but now we got the roundabouts in, which is great. Now what we want to do is make sure that they have priority over everything else. All right, there we go. Let's see. Looks like everything is going straight. We are slowly making some progress, and that's just because we're making the connections from one side of the city to the other. This one we should probably almost make another one like down here, and then making this in interchange, because we don't have another interchange really coming into the city. Because if you look at it, we have these off roads. Maybe if we actually connect this up to here, and then make the end of the highway like right here, that would actually work out pretty good. So we'll just kind of continue this all the way across to this area. So let's actually go ahead and work on that. All right, so we actually added this interchange. I couldn't get this over here a little bit closer because it was kind of sloping down a little bit, so it kind of looks a little funky. I was hoping to get it a little bit closer, to be completely honest, but I just couldn't get it to work, so that's about the best that I could actually do. If somebody wants to go ahead and improve that, that's perfectly fine. But now we're going to start getting a lot more free-flowing traffic, because now we have an off-ramp here, an off-ramp here, and an on-ramp. And now we just have to, we added this intersection here. So they're actually able to get from one side of the city to the other side actually pretty good now. Let's see. How is everything else looking? They're still wanting to get down into this part of the city actually pretty good. But we added, what, 1, 2... We've added now 1, 2, 3, because this is a new road. And then 4, this was here, but we just modified it. And everybody is moving pretty decent. There's a little bit of congestion here. We just got to let this kind of speed up and maybe let time do its thing. All right, so I made some modifications here. Number 1 is I actually changed up this this bridge to a 6th lane, because this road down here was actually all 6th lane anyway. So I just put a roundabout here. There was a lot of traffic that was converging onto this intersection right here. And then right here was actually, from here all the way over to what I created was actually an avenue. So this could actually probably just be an avenue, but I decided to make this all 6 lane just because it kind of made sense. And then I made this a nice big 4 lane roundabout, which is pretty amazing. Now, there are some bus line issues that I might have to try to fix here. That one's broken and that one's broken. I don't know if there's any other ones because of things that I've messed around with, but it looks like that might be about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and fix that up real quick, but otherwise we're doing pretty well. We're up to 81%. I'd like to see it like 86%, because I think that's definitely possible. What I did here is I put one way to kind of focus on this, because everybody was coming off of this roundabout and trying to get down here. So I wanted them to either use this road or this road, because these intersections were just too close together, and I didn't want to have to rework everything. So that just makes this a little bit more busy than what I wanted it to be. Then we added the roundabout here. We added the big roundabout in the middle. This is all cleared up now, which is amazing. And it looks like everybody is actually trying to turn to the left. And then we just made the 6 lane one-ways where we could, just because there wasn't really a decent size 4 lane, like an avenue that we could use with trees on the side. Considering that all the traffic that we originally had at this intersection and this cloverleaf, this is all really spread everything out. I mean, now they have lots of different ways in and out of the cities, both sides, because now they can actually come out here to get onto the highway. They can come here, or they can come all the way through. And actually, this has actually traveled a lot more than I ever thought it was going to be, just by adding this one simple road right here that we connected. And I had no intentions of actually doing this at first, but then it just kind of made sense, because this was actually very populated, and I probably would actually get rid of this roundabout completely and do something different here, because this road is too close to the roundabout, first of all, and it goes nowhere right now. And then I just wouldn't have a roundabout on the highway. I just wouldn't do it. I would have it off the highway like this. So if you wanted to have something come off the highway and have a roundabout here and a roundabout here, then that would be perfectly fine. But you know what? I think that's kind of where I'm going to keep it. This is just a busy, super busy intersection, and I don't want to put a roundabout there, because this one would be just too close. I mean, granted, that is only a one-way, so maybe it wouldn't be so bad, but that might make the traffic flow a little bit better. My only option is to give it a try and see what happens. But other than that, the traffic is pretty spread out. I'm not seeing... There's a little bit right here. The only thing that we might want to consider doing over at this point would be getting rid of the highway intersections, so that it's a little bit more free-flowing, and so that the traffic on the highway isn't stopping, and so that this traffic wouldn't be stopping. What I would do is probably put a bridge and then have everything connect probably up and over here. Like, these buildings are just way too close, and this road is way too close to this highway. I don't know what this is. I was trying to figure that out earlier. This is where I'm going to go ahead and end the episode. We were able to get it up to about 85%. It actually just dropped down to 83%. It's still the busy section of the city that is just driving me crazy, and I don't really know what else to do over there. But that is really about it. Everything else in the city is actually pretty decent. There's a little bit of traffic over on this side of the city. We added a couple new junctions in, and everything is looking and working pretty decent. But if you guys are enjoying these videos and want to be able to submit your own city over to me so that I can mess around with it a little bit, then you can click on that link in the description and it will send you over to my website so that you guys can go ahead and fill out the form that is necessary for me to start working on your city. But if you guys did enjoy the video in any way, then don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share my video anywhere. It'd help me out a lot and is greatly appreciated. But until next time, YouTube, you guys keep doing what you're doing because you're already doing it, and you guys stay gaming.
Yeah.